What's good? We back with another video. Afternoon grind. This is the review to Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight last night. For people just joining the channel and you're never watching my videos, I do a reaction video, media reaction to basically everything that happened to the ring. The review is basically the media coverage, the day reaction, the fans' reaction, and a little bit what happened in the ring last night for people that didn't catch the reaction video. As we already know, Floyd stopped Conor McGregor in 10 rounds. And, it's a lot of mixed feelings, man. As far as amongst, the different fan bases, definitely, it was an exciting fight. A lot of people around the boxing world, like Carl Froch, a lot of different boxing aficionados and hardcore fans and purist fans think that Floyd Mayweather carried Conor McGregor to make this fight more interesting. I tend to agree. He could have, did a lot more earlier, but I guess he wanted to give his fans their money worth. And, Conor McGregor still don't take away nothing he did, man. Not too many people could switch over in sports, even though it is combat. And, be successful as he was. He didn't look as much as a fish out of water as I thought he would. Had good balance, had good understanding of the game, and hats off to him. But after the fight, they pretty much made up and squashed beef, and of course they did. They just robbed the bank basically. Floyd came out with a ski mask on, one last bank robbery, and he getting out of the game, man. Conor McGregor says that he wants Nate Diaz 3 next. Lost to Nate Diaz by submission the first time, I believe. Beat him on points the second time. And, wants to do it again. I think he might move up to whatever weight Nate Diaz at, like 170 or whatever it is, and fight him. I don't know if he wants to squeeze back down to 155. I think that's where he had in UFC. But, Dana White said he doesn't want to, he thinks he doesn't want to see Conor McGregor back in boxing again. Say it was nice to do it once. And of course he doesn't, because in boxing, Conor McGregor is protected way more than he is in UFC by the Muhammad Ali Act. UFC, Dana White is the president, the CEO, the executioner, the dictator. He makes the rules, break the rules. That's him. He's everything. He's like the Roger Goodell of the MMA, UFC. He's everything. He determines how much money you get and all that. Even though he doesn't own it anymore, I believe he sold it. Now he still runs it. He's the only guy that really knows how to run it. And of course, he doesn't want to see Conor McGregor go back to boxing, because he won't have full control over what Conor makes and everything, because Conor has protection in the sport of boxing. And, but I think Conor should stay in the UFC. Said it before. My other video, if you didn't catch it, I just dropped it before this one, talking about Conor McGregor should go back to boxing, should go back to the UFC. And, reign supreme, especially with John Jones getting popped for PEDs again. Perfect time for Conor McGregor to snatch the GOAT crown. The GOAT crown is up in the air in UFC now that John Jones is out of the way. And Conor McGregor has done a lot of things in UFC, moving up, taking risks. He's a risk taker. And I think we need more of those in the combat sport. And as far as Floyd Mayweather, he did what he had to do. He knew he could knock out Conor McGregor and touch it when he wanted to. If he carried him for a more exciting fight. A lot of people was getting mad watching the fight, saying, what is Floyd doing? What is Floyd doing? Floyd had a plan all the time, and people saying, oh, strategy. Yeah, you know what I mean? People say, oh, TBE could took him this long to knock him out. He could knock him out way earlier than he did. But Floyd, just, being a showman. He closed the show when he felt like it. He knew McGregor would get tired. It's boxing. It is what it is. Now this is over with. Conor McGregor can go back to his natural habitat, and Floyd can retire and hopefully don't have to come back in the square circle again. Promised Al Hammond he was done, and he said he's done. Even the Canelo Alvarez dominates Triple G, and another potential $100-200 million payday presents itself. Can he really walk away from that? And I think he can. I think he's happy with his career, happy with his legacy. He said it was nothing physically wrong with him. I think he said he had an injury during camp that really halted his training. But, he still looked good. Said he didn't feel old or anything like that. He could still go on and fight and still dominate. But he should go ahead and let Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, headline that welterweight division, and Canelo Alvarez in the in the rise of a new boxing era. Both of these guys respected each other after the fight, and that's what boxing tends to do. You see a lot of dudes have heated, exchanges, hatred outside the ring. You see real hatred in boxing, sometimes, real dislike, real disdain. But after them dudes exchange leather, in a contest, it tends to make you respect the other man across from you 90% of the time. And I think they got mutual respect. I think it was respect coming from both sides before this fight even started, for the simple fact that, the amount they could have made, the potential amount of money they could have made, and they sold the fight. Both guys, played the role, played the character. Conor McGregor knew he had no chance, versus Floyd Mayweather. He knew that in camp, sparring other guys, he was in there for the money grab, but he did test himself, and he wasn't afraid to lose. He had nothing to lose. He didn't have an undefeated record in the UFC, and if you're going to go out losing and get knocked out and get embarrassed in front of everybody, why not do it for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million dollars, you know what I mean? And, for Floyd, he made his money, not a mark on his face, and hopefully his shadow can stop casting over the sport of boxing along with Manny Pacquiao. That's the next guy we got to get to retire out of this boy, because it's time for these guys just to move on and, start lives after boxing, and, a lot of people frown upon this fight, and I think the event lived up to the billing. I think it did. It was a good exhibition fight, in my opinion. Should Floyd get 50 for that? Why not? A lot of these older school guys was fighting tomato cans every other week. And Conor McGregor probably can beat some of them tomato cans, And, it is a boxing fight. Conor McGregor was an accomplished combat sports person. And let him get his 50 win, man. Does it mean more than Rocky Marciano's 50 wins? I don't know. Who really would care? I'm pretty sure Marciano fought a lot of tomato cans as well. A lot of guys who didn't even have a chance versus him. And at the end of the day, 50-0 is 50-0. Let them boys both live. They're both legends in their own right. Everybody comparing all-time greats to all-time greats. It's all hypothetical. You never know who is the better fighter. Each era is different. Some of them guys went 15, 20 rounds. These guys go 12, 10 today. Can't compare them. You can't really compare them. You can only do hypothetical matchups and hypothetical thinking. Different breeds of athlete, different training equipment, different technology, and all that stuff. And that's a rare occurrence by Al Heyman in Floyd Mayweather's locker room last night. And, what's funny is, Al Heyman was started by Vernon Forrest, got picked up by Chris Arreola and a couple other guys, and got Floyd Mayweather out of a top-ranked contract. And after that, his status took off. As one of the powerful men in boxing. He was going to be on hand. Him, Dana White hashed out a deal. I'm pretty sure both of them guys got wealthy off of this, especially Dana White. Probably made more than Conor McGregor. I said that before. A lot of different guys, man, have done different things in the sport, but nobody has transcended the sport amongst his peers, which is his roster now, Heyman and his fighters. His fighters are treated well. You never hear that Al Heyman stole a dime from them. They're all, wealthy. They all get good money. And to the fans is, he doesn't give us the best fights, all the time. Neither does Bob Arum. Neither does Oscar De La Hoya. They don't always give you the best fights. But at the end of the day, he treats his fighters well. They're well paid. They're able to, don't have to fight 3-4 times a year, 1-2 times a year, for the simple fact that they're paid well enough to be able to be healthy and not have to frequently fight just to survive. And he gives them all comp tickets to the Mayweather fights and the big events. They all show up for the PBC events. He makes sure everybody's okay. And his relationship with Floyd just flourished and made other boxers want to establish that relationship as well. And yes, people, don't like him. And it's always a problem when a black guy has power and runs something. And, I'm proud of Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather for what they did. They changed the game. They put money in the sport. They take care of your fighters first in the sport, and that's what they did tonight. They took care of Conor McGregor, took care of Floyd Mayweather. Everybody on the undercard got paid pretty well, and they changed the game. He really did change the game, bringing boxing back on free TV. Floyd helped spearhead that by having Al Heyman having Floyd as a bargaining tool, and just took boxing to a new level. Let's see what type of heights it can go to next week on.